Good day and welcome. You're watching Maarten NEWSDESK, where we bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond. With your anchor crew, Alston Lawrence, Glenda York, Tiziana Hart, and Mizzy with the Sunshine Report. This broadcast is brought to you by TV15 and proudly produced by Great Bay Media Studios in Philipsburg, St. Maarten. And now, let's jump straight into today's top headlines.
Arrindell takes temporary helm at GEBE. NV GEBE has appointed Iris Arrindell as temporary manager following the departure of former transition manager Thomas Wagendorf, whose resignation took effect on June 12th. In her first message to customers and staff, Arrindell acknowledged the challenges facing the utility company and said GEBE must move forward with humility, determination, and a renewed commitment to the people of St. Maarten. She emphasized the need to rebuild trust through transparency, accountability, open communication, and improved customer service. Economic Affairs Minister the Honorable Grisha Maarten welcomed the appointment, describing it as an important step towards stability and restoring public confidence in the utility provider. The minister also reaffirmed the government's push for greater transparency regarding GEBE's fuel clause charges. She confirmed that the supervisor mechanism under the Electricity Concession Ordinance has been activated and that BTP has already met with GEBE to begin reviewing information related to fuel clause calculus. To the minister, GEBE is now providing data that will allow for an independent verification process, and Maarten also stressed that renewable energy must play a larger role in reducing electricity costs, noting that renewable energy obligations have been part of GEBE's concession requirements since 2010. She said government will continue using all available legal and regulatory tools to improve transparency, strengthen compliance, and deliver long-term relief for consumers. Curaçao makes World Cup history. Curaçao may have fallen 7-1 to Germany in its FIFA World Cup debut, but the Dutch Caribbean nation still made history on football's greatest stage. 22-year-old Livano Comenencia scored Curaçao's first ever World Cup goal, becoming the country's first goal scorer at the tournament and briefly leveling the match against four-time world champions Germany. The historic strike also made Comenencia one of the youngest goal scorers at the 2026 World Cup. Despite the result, Curaçao's appearance captured attention across the Caribbean and around the world. Head coach Dick Advocat also set a World Cup record as the oldest manager ever to lead a team in the tournament at 17 years old. Prime Minister Honorable Luc Bercelina congratulated Curaçao, describing the achievement as bigger than football itself, and a powerful reminder that small island nations can compete on the world stage through determination, preparation, and belief. Economic Affairs Minister Grisha Maarten echoed those sentiments, saying, "One goal is still a win." She noted that seeing the Curaçao flag displayed at the World Cup gave many Caribbean people a sense of pride and inspiration. Curaçao, the smallest country by population ever to qualify for a FIFA World Cup, will continue its historic campaign when it faces Ecuador on June 20th. For many across the region, Curaçao's journey has already become a Caribbean success story that extends far beyond the final score. Kochi urges business compliance. The St. Maarten Chamber of Commerce and Industry is urging all business owners to update their records and settle outstanding registration fees to avoid possible deregistration. Kochi says businesses must keep their trade registry information accurate, complete, and current. This includes business addresses, contact details, directors, management representatives, business activities, and annual registration payments. The Chamber warns that businesses with outdated records or unpaid fees may place their legal operating status at risk. Deregistration can have serious consequences, including the inability to legally conduct business. Kochi says many compliance issues begin with simple administrative oversights, such as inactive phone numbers, old email addresses, unpaid fees, or businesses that stopped operating but were never formally closed in the registry. Business owners are encouraged not to wait until they need a registry extract, financing permit, or tender document before checking their status. Kochi says maintaining accurate records supports transparency, access to financing, formal business activity, and a healthier business environment. Businesses can visit the Chamber of Commerce and Industry weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or contact requests at chamberofcommerce.sx.
Hello, my people. My name is Glenda York of Sit, Sip, and Chat and Moms in Paradise podcast. You can find us on TV15 St. Maarten, TVC St. Kitts, and on YouTube. Reporting from GEBE Media Studios in St. Maarten, your NEWSDESK feature story is coming up. But first, here is Mizzy with the Sunshine Report.
Hey there, it's Mizzy with the Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Maarten, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us.
My lord, I heard there's a lot of teams that are coming to Battle of the Fittest this year. And I also heard that the Spanish team is coming back. How can we win? This is madness. Madness? This is Battle of the Fittest! This is where they die! This is where we win! This is war!
From June the 20th to July the 4th, 2026 is the Battle of the Fittest 10 basketball tournament live from the legendary LV Sport Auditorium featuring top teams from across the Caribbean, St. Kitts, Stacia, Dominica, St. Maarten, British Virgin Island, Dominican Republic, Curaçao, and Aruba. $10,000 up for grabs. This is where legends are made. The Battle of the Fittest 10 basketball tournament from June the 20th to July the 4th at the LV Sport Auditorium. Bring your A game because only the strong will survive.
This is war!
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every life, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. never, never fair. I know, tell them it's there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Stay connected to the best of local and Caribbean content anywhere, anytime with the TVC Plus app, the official app of TVC Channel 40. With the TVC Plus app, you can watch TVC Channel 40 live, catch every episode of your favorite shows on demand, watch exclusive pay-per-view content, listen to Voice of the Caribbean radio, and watch and read SKN Newsline. The TVC Plus app is available on all your devices. On the Google Play Store, search TVC and the plus sign. In the Apple App Store, type the words TVC Plus. And we're also available on the Amazon App Store for Fire TV and Fire Stick devices. Search the words TVC Plus. Download today and take TVC Channel 40 wherever you go.
All right, don't miss NewsDesk. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on TVC. Sink Kids to the World, now streaming everywhere. Marine sector focuses on jobs. The St. Maarten Marine Trades Association and the National Employment Service Center will host a Marine Industry Immersion Day on June 17th, focused on workforce development and the future of the marine sector. The event will bring together government officials, education stakeholders, labor representatives, and private sector leaders to better understand the industry's economic importance, employment needs, and growth challenges. Organizers say the marine industry plays a major role in St. Martin's economy, supporting technical services, hospitality, transportation, yachting, tourism, and regional commerce. The Immersion Day will include site visits to marine businesses, a tour of the Simpson Bay Lagoon, presentations, panel discussions, and direct dialogue with marine professionals. Discussions will focus on training, certifications, internships, permitting, infrastructure, safety, and policy alignment. SMMTA President Jesse Peterson says the goal is to build stronger cooperation between government and industry while identifying practical solutions that support business growth and local job creation. NESC says the collaboration will help prepare St. Martin's workforce for future industry demands. SSSD hosts Student Visa Workshop. The Student Support Services Division will host a free workshop for students planning to study in the United States or Canada. The session, titled Applying for a U.S. Student Visa or Canadian Study Permit, takes place on Thursday, June 18th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the University of St. Martin. SSSD says many students feel overwhelmed by the visa and study permit process, especially with recent changes affecting international students in both countries. The workshop will explain the steps for applying, required documents, and related fees. Students who have not yet received their I-20 for U.S. schools or letter of acceptance for Canada may still attend. Parents are also welcome, depending on available seating. Interested persons should reserve a seat by calling 543-1235 or emailing Student Support Services at stmartingov.org. Saba Governor receives royal honor. Outgoing Saba Island Governor Jonathan Johnson has received a royal honor for his years of service and dedication to the island. Johnson was appointed Ridder in the Order van Oranje Nassau during his farewell ceremony. The honor was presented by State Secretary for Kingdom Relations and Effective Government, Eric van der Berg. Van der Berg praised Johnson for his dedication, integrity, and ability to bring people together while serving in a small community facing major administrative challenges. Johnson has served as Island Governor of Saba since 2008, with responsibilities including public order and safety, crisis management, quality of public administration, and representing Saba within the Kingdom of the Netherlands. During his tenure, Saba went through major changes, including the constitutional reform of 10-10-10 and the development of a new harbor. The State Secretary also recognized Johnson's leadership during crises, including COVID and the hurricanes Irma and Maria. Johnson was praised for his approachability, crisis communication, and lasting contribution to Saba's stability and development.
Hey Hey there, I'm Venicia Herbert, and welcome to the Community Billboard. This is your space where the people, places, and heartbeat of the St. Maarten community get to speak for themselves. Whether it's an event worth showing up for, a business worth knowing about, or a cause worth caring about, you'll hear it right here. So, settle in, because what's coming up next just might be exactly what you've been looking for. Welcome to the NEWSDESK Community Billboard.
The 4th annual Mango Fest is coming up on Sunday, June 28th at Ebenezer Estate, but you have no idea how to get there. No worries, follow me. From the L.B. Scott Road, past the South Reward Catholic Church. Then take the last bridge before you reach the Milton Peters College. Take a right and head to the Ebenezer Estate Playground. Simple! You could either park outside of the venue or park at the Catholic Church and make a short walk to the event. The 4th annual Ebenezer Mango Fest, Sunday, June 28th, starting at 4 p.m. Entrance is free.
Me and you underneath the mango tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
To be part of our mailing list, send an email to newsdesksxm@gmail.com.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every laugh, every adventure. #1 provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to run.
Before we wrap up, we take a moment each day to check in with our neighbors across the region. There's always a story worth paying attention to. Here's today's regional headline.
Dominica promotes summer travel. In regional news, Dominica has launched a new seasonal tourism initiative called Summer the Nature Island Way, aimed at encouraging visitors to explore the island for adventure, wellness, culture, romance, and nature-based experiences. The Discover Dominica Authority says the initiative includes 8 created itineraries with multi-day vacation plans and full-day tours designed for families, couples, solo travelers, and adventure seekers. Experiences include rainforest hikes, sulfur springs, marine adventures, cultural sites, and visits to communities across the island. Officials say the campaign supports local tourism businesses while encouraging longer stays and deeper exploration of Dominica, known as the Nature Island of the Caribbean. Also in the region, Health City Cayman Islands has launched a new online continuing medical education series for Caribbean doctors. The first session focused on advances in treating dementia and atrial fibrillation, a common irregular heartbeat condition linked to stroke and heart failure. Doctors across the region participated and earned credits while learning about earlier detection, new treatment options, lifestyle changes, and improved patient care. Health City says the program is designed to share medical expertise across the Caribbean and help improve health outcomes for families dealing with serious conditions. Here's a fun fact. The Cayman Islands are made up of 3 islands: Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, and Little Cayman.
Welcome back. Each day we take a moment to go beyond the headlines and look deeper into the issues, people, and conversations shaping life here on St. Maarten. Welcome to today's NEWSDESK feature.
Nearly 500 residents marched to NV GEBE on Monday, sending a clear message that public patience with the utility company is running out. The march, organized by Association for Consumer Protection, ACP, brought together residents, politicians, union representatives, community voices, and consumers frustrated over electricity and water bills, fuel cost charges, disconnections, and what many see as a lack of transparency. At the center of the protest is a 7-business-day ultimatum. ACP President Peggy Andros Richardson said, GEBE has been given 7 business days to respond to 9 consumer demands, and if the response is not considered reasonable, legal action may follow. 2 demands were described as immediate and non-negotiable. The first is the reversal of what ACP calls the unauthorized and unlawful retroactive application of the fuel clause. The second is the suspension of residential disconnections, along with reconnection of households that have already been disconnected. Other demands include more transparency in tariff calculations, an independent audit of billing practices dating back to the 2022 cyber attack, compensation for consumers who may have been wrongly charged, a published customer service policy, protections for vulnerable groups, and clearer plans for infrastructure and renewable energy. For many residents, this is about more than one bill. It's about confidence. People want to know whether their bills are accurate. They want to understand how the fuel clause is calculated. They want to know why costs keep rising. And they want GEBE to communicate clearly before families are cut off from electricity or water. Temporary Manager Iris Arrindell received the ACP delegation and acknowledged the divide between GEBE and the public. She said the company understands the frustration and wants the situation fixed so trust can be restored. But the pressure on GEBE is not only coming from consumers. The utility is also facing a serious financial reality. Recent disclosures indicate that approximately 184.7 million dollars is owed to NV GEBE in unpaid electricity and water bills. That raises a difficult national question. How does GEBE provide relief and correct possible billing problems while also recovering the money needed to keep electricity and water services operating? Consumers have legitimate concerns about billing accuracy, fuel clause charges, service reliability, and communication. But at the same time, a utility cannot remain stable if large numbers of customers stop paying, or if unpaid bills are expected to disappear through write-offs. That is the uncomfortable balance at the heart of this story. If debt forgiveness is discussed, the public also needs to know who ultimately pays for it. Will the burden fall on paying customers? Will it come from government? Or will it weaken GEBE's ability to invest in better infrastructure? Monday's march showed that the public wants accountability, but it also showed that St. Maarten needs a broader conversation about utility justice, fair bills, accurate records, responsible payment behavior, protection for vulnerable households, and a transparent path toward lower energy costs. The fuel clause has become a symbol of frustration because it reminds consumers that St. Maarten remains deeply exposed to imported fuel prices. Without serious investment in renewable energy, grid modernization, and efficiency, residents may remain trapped between global fuel markets and local utility bills. So the issue is not only what GEBE does in the next 7 business days, it is whether GEBE can prove its billing is fair, whether consumers can regain trust, and whether St. Maarten can move toward an energy system that gives people more stability. The march delivered the message. Now the countdown begins. Here's some clips live.
It will mean less cost for households. We are giving GB little maneuvering time, 7 days to get back to us on the points for the immediate resolution, stop the disconnections, and reconnect all households. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Maarten News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV15 and across all our social media platforms. From all of us here at News Desk, we wish you a fantastic week ahead. Until next time, stay friendly, St. Maarten.